Next up at UFC Austin, we have Sean Brady taking on Kelvin Gastelum. Sean Brady 15-1 overall. He is 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off the first loss of his career to Belal Muhammad. He's taking on Kelvin Gastelum 18-8 overall. 2-3 in his last 5, but he's coming off that very close win over Chris Curtis. This is a great matchup. It's an interesting matchup. It's a fun matchup. It's a perfect featured fight because Sean Brady's this touted prospect, 15-0 going into his last fight, supposed to be that guy, and then he got beat by Belal Muhammad. And you may say, well, but Belal Muhammad should be fighting for a title at this point. The guy's a nonstop aggressive wrestler. Yeah, that's not how Sean lost. He was outstruck by Belal Muhammad. He was outstruck by potentially the worst striker in the division, which by default makes Sean Brady now the worst striker in the division. But he does have decent power in those hands. He does have decent takedowns, and he does have very good jiu-jitsu. It just wasn't there in his last fight. He's taking on Kelvin Gastelum. This is the most inconsistent, most talented guy that we may have ever seen in the UFC. Not the most talented guy ever, but certainly the most talented and inconsistent guy ever.
Sounds like somebody watched my Lock of the Week video.
Sounds like I broke this fight down 2 full weeks before you even knew it was made. So do me a favor and shut the hell up. That's another interruption from you. Kelvin Gastelum, unbelievably talented. We've always talked about that. I've been talking about that for an incredibly long time. Just how good and talented he is. He's got a rock-solid chin. He's got power in his hands. He's got very high-level wrestling. He's got all the things except a work ethic. The guy notoriously smokes a ton of weed, gets too fat, misses weight constantly. That's why he was at middleweight forever, and he even missed weight at middleweight. But he's synced up with Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo seems to have him dialed in. And now Kelvin Gastelum, he got that win over Chris Curtis. It was a close win. Chris threw a temper tantrum, talked about a headbutt, this, that, the other thing. But the reality is at 185 pounds, Kelvin Gastelum went in there and went toe-to-toe with one of the hardest-hitting, better strikers of the division. And he won that fight. Chris Curtis has phenomenal takedown defense as well. Kelvin Gastelum now going down to 170, where he should have been this whole time. And if he is going to be at 170, what he should be, and Jacob's fat fuck dog, speaking of overweight, eating
I said
his
nothing
second
but,
meal.
I was talking about your dog and said
food,
it was like...
I hear the food. You're right.
I said nothing but compliments about your dog.
About the little dog. The big one, you make all sorts of comments.
I have no issues with Scout.
I do. The dog sucks. Anyway, point being, if Henry Cejudo did to Kelvin Gastelum what it looks like he's doing, right, has him in shape, ready to go, Kelvin Gastelum is better than Sean Brady literally everywhere. He's the better offensive wrestler. He has more power in his hands. He's got a better chin. He's better everywhere. Kelvin Gastelum, Jacob's highlight reel that he put together for Kelvin is just a reminder of the savages that this guy has fought. He has fought all the best people of 2 generations of fighters. Kelvin Gastelum's the pick. I had a pick. I picked him last week. I bet on him long before Jacob even knew this was a matchup. Jakey boy, why don't you tell us how you think this fight goes?
Oh, I've known that this is a matchup for a long time, and I've been looking forward to this fight because this is the end of Renzo Gracie Philly as we know it. And I mentioned in my Lock of the Week video, if you guys don't know, please go watch the Lock of the Week video. I put a lot of time and effort. It's a great video. It was up last night, but I'll give you a little spoiler right now. Kelvin Gastelum is the Lock of the Week. And people are going to be like, oh, well, that's just because Jacob is a Renzo Gracie Philly hater because of the Pat Sabatini stuff. And we were against Pat Sabatini because of Renzo Gracie stuff as Lock of the Week. Now he's doing it again. He just hates that camp and there's no merit to it. Angelo, there was nobody that was a bigger fan of that camp than me. Would you agree with that? Every time we broke down those fights, I was screaming, Renzo Gracie Philly, they're undefeated. All these guys are fucking monsters. They're taking over the UFC. Before people even knew who the fuck Pat Sabatini was, I was sitting right here saying Pat Sabatini is going to take over the entire world because these guys are unreal grapplers, unreal wrestlers, and I assumed, crazy me, Angelo, I assumed that they were going to make leaps and bounds and improve in their striking. And if the striking caught up with the wrestling and the grappling, these guys would be unstoppable. Pat Sabatini, obviously he's got a little bit of a chin issue, but if his striking was there, he would be a much better fighter. Jeremiah Wells, if his striking was there, Andre Petrosky, if Sean Brady knew how to strike, this guy would be unstoppable. The last 2 or 3 years, they've made, zero improvements in their striking. Absolutely zero improvements in the striking. And not only are they not improving in the striking, the worst part is they're all fucking delusional because they all think that they are making improvements in the striking. Pat Sabatini thought that he was going to come in and knock out Diego Lopez. Guess what happened? Sean Brady came in and tried to knock out Bilal Muhammad. Guess what happened? We heard 2 weeks ago or last week, whatever it was, they said Sean Brady says, I think that if I fought Bilal Muhammad, I win 9 out of 10 times. I would beat him 9 out of 10 times. In what fucking universe do you win that fight? You didn't win hardly a second of that fight. I think a judge actually gave him the first round. But the striking was overly dominant. You lost to a boring wrestler in the striking, and you think you win that fight 9 out of 10 times? The delusion of these guys is unreal. I have no doubt in my mind that Sean Brady's going to come in and try to prove a point. I can strike. I'm a good striker. Watch. I know I got knocked out by Bilal, but I can strike. I'm going to knock out Kelvin Gastelum, and he's going to get put the fuck out. Kelvin Gastelum, and I said in my Lock of the Week video, and I'll go all the way to it, I think he is one of the most, if not the most talented people to ever fight in the UFC. As you mentioned, the guy was smoking weed, hardly really training, and almost became the champion of the world in a weight class he shouldn't have even been in. He was up in weight and he literally almost accidentally became the champion of the world just off basic, just raw talent and skills. Now he's actually working hard. He was in Thailand for a while doing the Muay Thai stuff. Now he's with Henry Cejudo. He's coming down to 170 where he should have always been. He's fought there a couple times, but he should have always been there. I'm saying this right now. If he was at 170 his whole career and was locked in and dedicated, I think that he not only goes down as one of the greatest 170 champions of all time, I think that if he fights Usman in his prime and Kelvin's at 170, I think he fucking smokes Usman if Kelvin Gastelum is at 170 and locked in and loaded. Kelvin Gastelum's a better fighter in this matchup. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he's dialed in, which it looks like he is, to come down to 170 and his cardio is still there, because sometimes when you're kind of the fat dude, your cardio is a little bit better than when you're kind of the jack dude. So I'm hoping that he doesn't come in, put on too much muscle and gas. I think he comes in and just schools this guy, Sean Brady. Sean Brady came in against a top guy in Bilal Muhammad, got completely embarrassed, showed that he does not belong at this level. This is going to be the end of Renzo Gracie Philly. As we know, all these dudes should leave that fucking gym. They're all talented. I got nothing against them. If they went to Lobo, if Sean Brady was at Lobo and boxing and learned how to actually strike, he would be a dominant force. But Kelvin Gastelum's going to teach this gym a lesson, a very valuable lesson. I hope that they fire whoever that striking coach is after this fight. Kelvin Gastelum's going to dominate this fight. Lock of the week. Probably a second round knockout, maybe the first round knockout.
Yeah, listen, I mean, we're obviously on the same page here. Bet that fight as well. My only concern, I only threw a half a unit on Kelvin and not more than that, because I do want to see him at weigh-ins. He has been inconsistent. He has proven to us you can't fully trust him. But according to Instagram and his last fight and all the other things, he is trustworthy this time out. So we'll take that at face value. So I trusted him with my money, just only half a unit instead of a full unit. I wanted to do a full unit. I mean, Sean Brady, that last performance, yeah, exactly. Sean Brady's last performance was, it probably won't. Sean Brady's last performance was a nightmare. He just looked terrible. And even if you're like, well, that was an anomaly.
Dude, he thinks that he went 9 out of 10 times? That's what he thinks.
Somebody commented on the Quick Pick video, I believe, talking about Sean Brady and Joe Pyfer. They have that podcast or whatever together. They did a podcast, something like that.
The Broke Boys or something?
They were literally talking about how Sean Brady's going to dominate Kelvin and that his pressure is going to be too much for Kelvin. When has Kelvin folded the pressure? When has he folded the pressure? I
swear to God, it's the most fucking delusional gym. And I say that as like almost with like a broken heart, because I love those guys, man. I fucking love that gym. I love those guys. I love Sean Brady. I sat here before the Bilal fight and I said that Sean Brady was going to smoke Bilal Muhammad. I said Bilal Muhammad doesn't stand a chance. Bilal Muhammad's so overrated. He can't strike. Sean Brady's going to do whatever he wants to Bilal Muhammad. And he got fucking smoked, Angelo. What are we doing?
Oh, I watched. I picked Bilal, but I didn't see it going that way. It was supposed to be a wrestling match.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, Jacob and I squarely on the same side. I do think you need Kelvin. And listen, this is the type of fight that all of a sudden Sean Brady is going to look spectacular. And it's like, where the hell? But he hasn't shown us that he can be that guy. And Kelvin, even in his losses, has shown us that he is that guy.
And all of his teammates have shown zero improvements. If we came in 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, Pat Sabatini was, bobbing and weaving and had a nice little jab, and you're like, oh my God, okay, that's his teammate. They don't do fucking shit. I don't know if they ever even strike. It's crazy.
I know it is crazy. So we're both on the Kelvin Gastelum side. I think $8,000 in DraftKings makes sense. I got to look at it a little closer, see how well he scored in that Chris Curtis fight. It could look similar, bit of a back and forth striking fight with Kelvin maybe getting some of the better exchanges. I don't know if he's going to wrestle as good as his wrestling is. He doesn't always use it.
He doesn't need to wrestle. He's just outboxing.
He's got that big power, and he's got the best asset he has is just his granite chin and his willingness to move forward. Like nothing. Yeah,
he literally is everything you want in a fighter. He's not a pussy. He's got good cardio. Yeah. He's got good power. He can wrestle. He's actually a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself. That's not like some no-name gym. That's a very high-level gym, the 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. He's got good power. He's got really good boxing. He's got that Mexican toughness. And Sean Brady, even when he was trying to wrestle against Bilal, it's not like Bilal's also a good wrestler, so he was defending good shots. Those shots were terrible. Those were just like lean over trying to grab. There was no actual shots to it. That was awful, man.
Well, we're both on the same side here. I've got a bet on him. Jakey Boy's got some stuff going on as well. And if you want to check all that out, WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month.
Like the stream.
And before I move on, the line movement, he opened at plus 100 and then he moved up to plus 100. So money came in on Sean Brady. People saw his last fight and were like, ooh. This is good value.
This has just got to be because I think it's got to be because 15-1. His first loss was against Bilal, and Bilal is like the next guy.
You got to look at how he lost.
Right. And people are saying like, he lost against a top level. He was a top level guy. That was the first time he's ever fought a top level guy, and he looked like he didn't fucking belong. He didn't look like he belonged in that fight.
If he got out wrestled, I don't think anybody would care. It's the fact that he was outstruck, which is just
out jabbed.
And finished.
It wasn't like it was. It's not like it was like Bilal found a lucky shot or a lucky head kick. He was just bop, 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 bop,
and he
just touched and touched. But it was not even. And it wasn't like a blitz and TKO. That was a 7.5 minute TKO basically. It was awful. And Kelvin's a way better striker than Bilal Muhammad. Way better.
Well, it's a wild world that we live in.